Hey everyone, how's it going? It's on. I'm back in LA, which is extremely happy sad emoji because on one hand, I'm really glad to be back in my own apartment and to be walking distance from say a pharmacy or a supermarket. And I don't know, city energy is different than country energy, but at the same time, it's I so enjoyed being at home with my family and hanging out with them, chilling, and secretly kind of being spoiled a little bit, I guess. Plus, if I was ever hungry, I could literally walk into the backyard and pick fruit or a squash or something and be totally satisfied. I don't know. It's bittersweet, but ultimately, I'm glad to be back. This video is for those of you that requested more art videos. I feel like I'm an extremely creative person and I want to constantly be making art, doing art,
be surrounded by art and stuff.
I've met people that are not the artistic creative type and we are not the same. And on the other hand, I'm kind of I don't know, at the same time, it's if I'm painting a picture just to paint a picture, isn't that kind of wasteful? But because you asked so nicely, I was well, I'll just surf on the net and find a tutorial and follow it. And so that's exactly what I did. I found this blog called Honestly WTF, which posts DIY projects and style inspiration. It's written by a woman called Erica Chan Kaufman. And one of the tutorials that I saw, which I was this seems simple enough for me to follow, was for these beaded daisy bracelets with a sliding knot closure. It was super fun. I enjoyed putting this together. What I really liked was going to buy the materials and picking out this silk thread. That was so fun to me. But yeah, here's a haul. All right, so here's the haul. I just got back from this place, Bead Factory. There were signs everywhere that were no pictures, no videos, so I couldn't get any footage of inside the store, but this is what the bag looks like. It says Bead Factory. I went to this location. The other side says Bohemian Crystal. Okay, anyway, into the bag. All right, this is my little shopping list with the ingredients that Erica recommends. 8/0 seed beads, number 8 Griffin silk thread with needle, 3mm brass bead, number 10 Griffin silk thread, or 0.8 to 1mm Chinese knotting cord. So this is what I got for the knotting cord. They had a few different colors, but this was the only one that I think was in the right size. Everything else was much thinner. For the silk thread, I got 3 colors. I dig this color palette. I was looking for teal. This was the closest that they had. I guess I sort of just impulse bought these other two because I was oh my gosh, it's silk, it's so pretty. But I can make more than one bracelet. I think that's okay. These are the seed bead colors that I chose. On Erica's tutorial, she listed that she picked 7 different colors, but I think they specialize mostly in Swarovski crystals. So the color selection for this size of bead was kind of smaller, but that's okay. I'm happy with what I got. I got this blue color, this other blue color, which is kind of I guess a glossy yellow to contrast with the blue, and then pink, because I don't know, I guess I just thought that it's flowers, right? So I'm a millennial. I like pink. Erica calls for 3mm brass beads, but I couldn't find the brass beads. Maybe I didn't look hard enough. I put an hour in my parking and was sort of just checking my watch the whole time because I was they don't have the exact same colors that she used, blah, 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 but whatever. I got these plastic ones, which basically look the same. Okay, cool. Let's get started on the tutorial. So she says, honestly, is there anything happier than daisies? I was desperately needing a dose of happy over the weekend and whipped up a few colorful bracelets to suit the soul. Have fun. Thank you, Erica. I think I will. Using the right thread or cord is important here. My favorite thread for the daisy chain is Griffin's Twisted Silk Thread. Unravel the entire card and double knot the end. You'll want to leave about a 3 to 4 inch tail. Note, you definitely don't want to use elastic cording here. It's too difficult to get a tight weave on the daisy. Let's see what that's about, 3 or 4 inches. So knot it right here. Okay. Thread on a few seed beads. Then you'll add the daisy petal colors and form the top half portion of the flower. I think that I want the bracelet to be this like blue shiny bead. She threaded on 5. Then you'll add the daisy petal colors and form the top half portion of the flower. So let's do yellow first. It's clockwise. Add the center bead. Again, I'm using a 3mm gold bead here, but you can sub any sized bead. Take the needle and thread it through the first colored bead towards the... wait. So first, thread on the bead. Take the needle and thread it through the first colored bead towards the knot/end of the bracelet. Note, see how it's important to have a cord or thread that can pass through your seed bead twice? Size and material is crucial. These are 3mm beads, right? Because my beads do not look the same as Erica's beads. Like this center bead is way too small. Item number, it says item number SW-3mm. I guess I can like take apart an old bracelet that I have. Okay, so I have these beads now, and these. These ones are bigger, but I don't know if you can tell, the hole in this one is way smaller than the hole in this one. So, I don't know, I guess we'll see if this works. So I'm once again making a knot like 3 to 4 inches from the end. I string on my 5 beads. String on 5 more beads. All right, I'm gonna try stringing on one of these tiger's eyes now. So far, so good. I'm gonna go back through the first bead toward the knot. Pull it through, and hooray! I think that looks much more like the picture. Okay, then she says add on 3 more colored beads. So I'm gonna go back into my yellow and add on 1, 2, 3. Then take the needle and thread it through the last colored bead before your center bead. So that's this one, and I can kind of already tell that like I might need more. So I'm gonna add 1 more just to see what happens. So I can always undo the whole thing again later. Sweet. So then what she says is, once it all feels taut, add a few more spacer beads before starting the next daisy. Add the next set of colors and the next center bead. And then it looks like I just repeat the process. So until the bracelet is the right length. So here we go. At this point, I tied a knot because it was the right length, and her last instruction was cut a 8 to 10 inch piece of cord or thread. Lay the ends of the bracelet parallel and opposite of each other. Lay the center of the closure cord under your bracelet ends, fold the right cord across the strands, and then fold the left cord over the right cord pointing down. Pull the left cord under the right and middle strands, and then through the loop on the right side. Then she says she did the same thing on the other side, completing the square knot. Hold tight and continue working your way down until you have 4 to 5 knots. To finish the closure, thread one of the cords onto a needle and sew up the center of 2 to 3 knots along the back side. Pull the second end through and then trim both ends as close to the knots as possible. Now your bracelet can tighten by pulling ends or loosen by pulling the bracelet apart. Measure to fit and then thread 2 seed beads onto each end and tie the tips into a knot. Trim. I had trouble getting my needle to fit through the pink seed bead, so what I did was I took a length of thread, I doubled it, put the pink seed bead onto it, and then threaded it through onto the silk thread, if that makes sense. I really hope you enjoyed this video because I really enjoyed making this video. If you want to see more miscellaneous art related content, please let me know by commenting in the box below. Otherwise, click like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to link Erica's stuff. I'll link her website in the description box. And if you check her out, tell her that I sent you. I guess that's it. Talk to you later. Bye.